Hello, lovelies, and welcome to episode 2 of the Creating Healthy Wealth and Motherhood podcast with me, your host, Petey Morgan of leveragedmama.com. In the first episode, we talked about the logic behind creating leveraged and passive income streams that you can step away from and they don't dry up. Now, for motherhood, I think this is a really, really great idea, and I'm sure you will agree. It is a more flexible option that is more suitable for motherhood. So there's the logic, right? Okay, that makes sense. But we are emotional beings, and alongside the logic, there are some emotional reasons for wanting to create these leverage and passive income streams. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this episode. So we will talk about the vision that I have for my online business that generates leveraged income and passive income, and how I think this is going to change things for my family. And you'll see, once I've described it, why it's so important to me, that I also help other mums do the same thing. So the emotional reasons, in other words, your why, it boils down really to just two things, to simplify it, and that is freedom and options. So having a business that generates motherhood-friendly income that I can step away from whenever I need to gives me the freedom to choose what's best based on my needs, not my financial position. So just having enough money is going to allow me to go, right, well, I need this, I'm going to do this, not, oh my gosh, I need to do this and I cannot afford to do it. I don't want that to be a problem. I want that freedom to choose. I want the freedom that an online business provides me to work when it best suits me, the times it suits me. Currently it's in between kindy drop-off times, and that's going to be school really soon. So the times that it suits me, but also where it suits me. Right now I'm sitting at my home office, and that's because I'm recording a podcast, but really I could be sitting in a cafe, I could be sitting in the car, I could be sitting on the beach. It doesn't really matter, but I could also just be working at home while Mila's sick, or I'm not feeling so great. It's just a little bit more flexible. Sick kids, yeah. If you have a sick kid, it's nice to be able to stay home and not have to stress about sorting out your work situation, of course. But what about, having the freedom to go and look after a sick parent? My mum needed some care last year, so I was able to fly down and look after her and care for her. And I want to be able to do that again whenever my parents need me. My parents are in their 60s, so yeah, they're getting to that point where they will need a little bit more support over the next 10 to 20 years. I want to have the freedom to choose the area that I live in, the school that my daughter goes to, the food that we eat, the car that I drive, or how many cars we have. I want that freedom to be able to do that without really, really having to worry and fret about it. And talking about worries and frets, I want the freedom from money stress. I want the freedom from the arguments that we have about where to spend our money when it's limited. I want the freedom from that 2 a.m. fretting. You know how it goes. You wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, oh my God, you're thinking about, you're worried about money, or you're worried about the future, or you're worried about this and that. I want freedom from that. I want a business that gives me that freedom. I'm going to just stop for an ad break because this is sponsored, and Anchor's really cool, so have a listen. And we're back. So I want to choose who I do work for, who I work with, and what I do for work. It's really important to me. I'm a highly empathetic person, and that I really need to know that I'm helping people. I need to know that I'm making a difference in people's lives. I've tried this in every single job I've had. I'm always trying to improve something. And when it boils down to it, I just wanted to make life better for the people that were in my orbit. But I got really frustrated trying to do that in my jobs because it just wasn't the right environment for me. I hadn't created the right environment. So I want an online business that creates the right environment for me to be able to help people and make a real difference. That is a really strong need that I have. So when you join up the logic of, hey, it's really smart to build leveraged and passive income streams that are motherhood friendly, and the emotional reasons behind wanting a business that generates enough income to give me the freedom and options, and the type of business to give me that type of freedom as well, I've got a really, really strong reason for doing this. And that is why I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, like a lot of time thinking about it, journaling on it, daydreaming about it, that sort of thing, of what does it really look like, this business of mine, and why is it that I'm going to enjoy it so much? Why am I going to love it? Wow, it's going to check so many boxes for me. And if it doesn't, time to experiment and go again. So my business will be based on creating online courses, workshops and trainings so that I can actually teach other mums how to build leveraged and passive income streams too. So because this is my job now, and that means that I'm constantly studying online marketing, super important when you've got an online business, and I'm abreast of industry changes like algorithms and platforms and this and that. I have always been into the web and into tech. I'm an early adopter of everything. Take Anchor, which you just listened to a sponsored segment on. I love Anchor. I am right in amongst that, so that's what I can bring to the table for other mums and make sense of the options that you have for creating your own income streams that are online based. This is my bread and butter. So, and I'm really into it. Yes. I'll be creating content all the time in my business, and I love creating content, video, audio, writing, all sorts of content. I love sharing and I love teaching. So, and because you're on a different part of the journey, any one of you are on a different part of the journey to your own financial freedom, you have different needs. So, for example, somebody coming along who has no idea what leveraged income is, but is really maybe struggling at their job and just wishing that life was easier, that person, of course, they might not be ready to jump in and go, right, I'm going to start today. But that person, I want to be able to plant seeds with, to let them know that there are other options, that there isn't just the one way, that, hey, look at this way that I'm doing it. Maybe that's something that you're interested at some time in the future. So I'm planting seeds, but I'm also educating about the different ways of earning leveraged and passive income, so that creating content of a variety of kinds is going to really help that, but also to inspire. I have been sharing from the very, very, very beginning of my journey so that we can reflect back and go, look, this is where I was at this point in time. This is what was going on for me, and this is what I did in between there and here. Through all my experimentation and my just trying different things and building up different parts of the business and experimenting over here and there, I will be able to put together a little pathway for you to come along and to be able to build that income stream quickly without having to spend too much money, basically, because in my efforts to help you, I don't want to send you broke, send you down a path that is going to be unprofitable. I want to make sure that what I'm teaching you is going to bring you in income, motherhood-friendly income, as soon as possible. So all that content creation is going to plant seeds and educate and inspire, but also the way I will make my income is through selling those online courses and workshops and trainings. A business has to have some kind of income stream, and I believe that because I'm teaching how to do that, that's going to be how I earn my own income. But mainly I want to be a beacon of light to people, to everyone else. To when somebody comes along and I need a change. There has to be another way. Well, I'm going to show you that way. I'm going to show you there is another way. In terms of income goals, I talked a lot about freedom and options, having freedom and options. And in order to have freedom and options, you need to have money. I talked a lot about this in a recent blog post, Money Can Buy Happiness, about money does actually give you these options. Having money in our society, we live in a capitalist society. We earn money through trading of goods and services. The more you earn, the value that you offer, the more you earn. So that is the reality of our society. So the more money that you have at your disposal, the more freedom and options you have. So I have some pretty high income goals for my business, because in order to be able to have the freedom and the options to be able to give back to my community as much as I possibly can, I need to be in a situation where I'm not worried about laundry, for example, or I'm not worried about where the next paycheck is going to come from. I'm not concerned with these things. I've got that sorted so that I can truly focus on helping others. That's a really important thing to me. So my income goals for my business within 5 years is in the multi-millions per year. And if this sounds completely crazy to you, trust me, it's not. And I'm going to reflect back on this episode when I do make multi-millions in a year, because I truly do believe in the potential for this business, and I have done a lot of work around, making the right moves towards making this happen. I believe in myself. I believe in my ability, and I also now know that I'm really, really strongly attached to this goal, as described. The logic and the whys, they make a really, really strong goal. Multi-millions, hey, why not? Why not? But first, I'm not going to make multi-million dollars in my first year. First, the income goal is to just simply replace my job income with income from my business, my leverage income streams, and have enough money to grow so that I can continue to put my time into content creation and teaching and educating, but also be able to reach more people and to get out there more and do more collaborations so that more people are even aware that I exist. So that's a really important goal for me. Now I have some questions for you to ponder after you've finished listening to this podcast episode. Firstly, what does your ideal financial landscape look like? Don't limit yourself when you think about this. Just think about, how much money would it be nice to have in my life? What about the debt? What debt level would you be happy with? How could you make life easier if you had that extra money? What freedoms are you seeking? What type of freedoms would make a real difference to your life? So these are the things that will really connect you to making additional, more motherhood-friendly income streams happen. Otherwise, it's just a pipe dream. It's nice to think, oh yeah, that would be nice. Nice for some. But actually, if you have a strong enough why, you'll make it happen. I fully believe that. So I really want you to ponder that. So that brings us to the end of episode 2 of Creating Healthy Wealth in Motherhood. So happy that you have come along and listened. I had a really big response to episode 1. Lots of listens. I had voicemails from people. Did you know you can send me a voicemail on Anchor? You can send me your questions. That's really cool, isn't it? I'm stoked to hear from you and to be opening up the kind of the floor, I guess, for engagement with you. I'm getting questions from people, putting themselves out there and just explaining their own goals with finances and businesses. And that's really cool. I'm starting to feel that real community building up around things. So that makes me super, super happy. If you have listened this far, of course, I'm going to ask you for a 5-star review. This will help get the podcast out to other mums that might not have heard of the Leverage Mama yet and might need to hear what I'm talking about. I want to plant some seeds further aboard. So please do that, and I'm excited to get to work on the next episode. I think I'm going to do that right now because it's just, I'm in the zone. Awesome. Thanks for listening. See you later.